About everything we buy comes with some kind of label on it that tells you about the item that you purchase, especially clothing. About every clothing item has a tag in it. Sometimes as kids, we're sensitive to those tags in the back of our t-shirts. I can remember my mother cutting my tags out because they bothered me when I wore a particular shirt. But those labels tell us something about the item, usually what size it is, small, medium, large, extra large, and so forth, what the article of clothing is made of, where it's made, what country it comes from, and so forth. And then we go through a period where what the label is makes a difference. Is it a designer label? That kind of things. But label gives that article of clothing a sense of identity. Who made it? Whose name is on it? Well, sometimes we go through life and we get labeled by others, by society. And sometimes those labels can have negative consequences on our lives. If we're told long enough by a lot of people that we don't matter, that we're no good, that we'll never amount to anything, that we're unimportant, that we're ugly, that we're unlovable. Over time, we can start to believe those labels, that those folks are right about us. We can start to have negative views about ourselves and really believe the labels that have been placed upon ourselves. That's unfortunate because many people walk around with those labels about who they are and their identity. When you read the scriptures, sometimes the people of God had labels placed upon themselves, whether it was collectively as a people or as individuals. In the book of Isaiah, the prophet was writing to the people who had gone through a very difficult time in their lives. They have felt as though God had forgotten them. They had been conquered by other nations who had demoralized them, made them feel as though they didn't matter anymore in the world. But the prophet brought a word to them, a reminder of who they belonged to. And Isaiah said these words to the people: "The nations shall see your vindication, and all the kings your glory. And you shall be called by a new name that the mouth of the Lord will give. You shall be a crown of beauty in the hand of the Lord, a royal diadem in the hand of your God. You shall no more be termed or called forsaken, and your land shall no more be termed desolate. But you shall be called by my name. My delight is in her, and your land married. For the Lord delights in you, and your land shall be married." God would give them a new name. My delight is in you, and you shall no longer be called forsaken. You see, that's what God does in each of our lives. He gives us a new identity, that we are valuable, that we are important, and that we mattered. When Jesus was baptized in the River Jordan by his cousin John the Baptist, when he came out of the water, he heard a voice from God saying, "You are my beloved Son, and I am well pleased in you." And that is God's message to all of us. You are my beloved child, and I am well pleased. You see, it doesn't matter what labels someone else has put on you. The label that God gives us is that we are beloved children and that he loves us. We don't have to believe the negative labels that others have told us belong on us. We don't have to believe the names that people have called us. We don't have to believe the false identities that have been projected on our lives. Our true identity comes through God the Father, through the Son, Jesus Christ. He tells us who we really are, that we matter, that we are important, that we are loved. So we can tear away those old labels that the world gives us and accept the new label that God gives us. We are his children, chosen and beloved, And that label will never come off once we accept it. And that label will change the way that we can live in this world. Because once we realize we are chosen and beloved, nothing matters in what the world tells us anymore. That's our true identity. That's who we are. And that's the label that really ultimately matters. God bless you today.